If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
And we are live. And Frankie, are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I saw you for a minute and then it went out, but yeah, I can hear you. So right now, I guess we're good. At least we can hear you right now.
Let me jump out and jump back in because I saw my camera acted up. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll be right back.
All right. And we welcome you to This is the Squared Circle Digest. I am Sean Stanley. He was Frankie Fresco. He'll be joining us back in a minute. We have a lot to dive into. We weren't on this Tuesday, so we need to talk a little CM Punk. We got Payback. I'm sure Mr. AEW's got the All Out and All In, whichever one it was. I think it was All In, actually. And, of course, we've got our top 5 no debating list, which today, in honor of Pepsi Phil or Phil Brooks or CM Punk, the top 5 CM Punk opponents. We're going to dive into that in a little. That'll be our top 5 no debating list, by the way, which is, again, the top 5 CM Punk opponents. We're going to try this again. 3, 2, 1. Frankie Fresco.
All right, am I here? Can you hear me?
You're here, man. You're here. Cat for Life is here. No Doubt's here.
Jesus.
We appreciate everybody joining us on a Friday evening.
And that's the reason why I'm having technical difficulties. This is Friday. And
That should be here on the.
It's too early for me. I've been trying to do so many things. I was trying to go live on Instagram, and it's acting up. And then when I tried to get back on, my camera, I saw what happened. My camera switched to my webcam. So I was like, why is half of my face showing up? And then I was like, oh crap, I gotta switch it. So thankfully I was able to find it, and then my sound and then everything. Oh my god, everything is just wrong. I feel like I'm seeing Punk right now. Just everything going wrong.
And no doubt we appreciate you putting off your aim to be a Pokemon master. Ash's final 13 episodes, which dropped today on Netflix. We'll get that out there just to watch us. We appreciate that. Oh, my dad is in, so we appreciate him. And then Cat for Life says, what the hell? I have so much to say, bro. Where you all been, damn it? Unfortunately, sometimes life gets in the way, and then me and Frankie, our schedules, we have like one day that matches up, and then after that, it's like a toss-up. It's, okay, what are we doing? So then to try to get both of us in on the same way, and we're going to let's just dive into the big news. All right? I mean, the biggest news that came out of this wrestling week, which to me was The Miz wrestling nobody. He wrestled an invisible man. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, we're going to talk AEW, and we're going to get started, of course, with Mr. AEW and some of the big happenings that went down this week and weekend.
Yeah. So yeah, let's start a little bit. And
wait, Frank, you got something rolling down your cheek? What is that? Is that tear?
That is not tear. That I am emotional, but I'm emotional in the aspect that I am upset at what happened with this whole CM Punk situation. As you guys remember last week, I came out defending CM Punk, and I guess TK must have heard my rant, and he was like, "Screw you, Frankie. I'm gonna get rid of CM Punk, and I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of him." And I want to talk to you about this because let's keep it real. CM Punk. Why did he do it? Why did he get rid of CM Punk? Why did he make that decision? Why does he feel like CM Punk was the reason that things were going wrong? I honestly feel that wasn't the case. I honestly felt that was
here's the one thing that we'll never know, because we'll never be able to see there was video of it. Okay. Tony Khan was there. Apparently, there was 300 different stories, so however you want to look at it, a few of them had where CM Punk lunged at Tony Khan and said, "I'm tired of this place. I'm tired of AEW." And I think it comes to a point, and again, he made it physical. Even if Jungle Boy went up to him and said whatever, he made it physical. And he made it physical last time. It got physical last time. I don't know who made it physical last time. Let me rephrase that. It got physical last time with him.
That's what they say.
So, no, I'm talking about the biting the ankle and all that, the elite time. With some punches were thrown and things like that.
But he didn't make it fit. He wasn't the one who made it fit. It wasn't them that came after him in his locker room.
They stormed the locker room, and then there's different versions of who threw the first punch. But what I'm getting at, though, is when you have so much, physical instances, I mean, I get it. He's Phil, but you can't make it physical every time. You got to want to come to work, man. Every time you come to work, you just want to fight people. I mean, it's just. I don't know. Again,
the story is too, it's not clear. It's not clear, and that's where I'm a little bit.
It's not clear, but what's clear is they thought enough of it to say, okay, do we have enough to rid ourselves of them? And that's the way they went.
Okay, so
right or wrong, Tony Khan would have initiated that. So at some point, and look, I don't know if Tony Khan should have went out there on AEW and said, for the first time in my life, I feared for my life at a backstage in a wrestling event and things like that. I mean, look,
that was terrible.
It is what it is at this point. But at the same time, he is the owner of the company. And I don't know who's on these boards. I don't know what's on there, but lawyers had to go through the contracts. Lawyers must have seen the video, because there's video back in the Wembley, in the locker rooms, in the areas there, in the hallways and stuff, especially where that incident happened. Tony Khan was right there when it happened. There was other people right there when it happened. Samoa Joe was right there when it happened. I mean, you can only have it. And again, Jungle Boy has been suspended indefinitely. And I guess because of the altercation and him making it a physical altercation, they felt it's time to part ways. And again, when you look through everything, that's a tough decision because of the money that goes with it. But now also, the thing I found so interesting about it was Tuesday, or the report I heard was Tuesday morning, afternoonish. They sent a letter or whatever email to Warner Brothers letting them know the soft brand split was going to come to an end. That was on Tuesday. Terrible. That was on Tuesday. When did CM Punk get fired?
When did he get fired? I don't remember.
It was finally announced on Friday, I want to say, because it was heading into the weekend of All In Chicago.
So they already knew they were going to let go of him then.
I believe, yeah. They already knew they were there. But again, a lot of this stuff had to go through attorneys because, again, CM Punk said, Man, I'm getting choked up. You got me choked up in this.
Okay.
CM Punk said, I didn't know I was suspended. No, but your attorney's been told you're suspended. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything that they did went through in it. Like, I don't understand how this relationship worked for as long as it did. Like you have to go through your attorney. AEW has to tell his attorney tells him. Like, tell me there's not a bigger disconnect here. I've never understood like how it's like, oh, I didn't know about it. Oh, but we told your attorney.
Okay.
How does all this work?
So let me say something here, because this is what upsets me when it comes to Tony Khan. CM Punk has not been the easiest person to deal with, right? We all know that. My question here is, why in the world would you go and release probably, if not your top wrestler of your organization, or at least one of your top wrestlers from your organization? Why are you going ahead and releasing him when you know the opportunity? Your company relies heavily on him, man. Like, I know he wasn't there before, but still, it doesn't matter. He is.
Yeah, but I think this is the first time where Tony Khan actually reached down and saw that, oh my God, I have a pair. I actually have a pair. Because look, I get it. Business-wise, doesn't make much sense. But I can tell you now, the locker room, if you watch that All In pay-per-view, and I've only heard things about it, but a lot of those guys took it personal, that they wanted this show to be, top-notch because they weren't on All Out, and then also because there was so much given to CM Punk not being on the card and it being a letdown.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. When CM Punk came to AEW, yes, he was a big draw. I'll never forget it. I actually, you guys might make fun of this, but I actually reminisced on it. I actually went back and looked at the video of when he first came back. And I went and I said, look, what a treat. It was a
big deal. It was a big deal.
I said, what a treat for all the fans, for fans in general. We had not seen CM Punk in how long? And then as time has progressed and you see what's been going on, I'm like, what is this? Like, why has it gone to this extreme? Why does it seem like the blame is being put on him? And I get you. I get you that he's always been the common denominator. I know that. But if you're going to be honest about the situation, just be honest about the situation. Tony Khan said that he felt that his life was threatened and all this gibberish that I honestly thought he was full of it, man.
I think you need to keep that behind the things. Like I don't think you need to get into. I think he needed to go out and say his piece in front of the Chicago crowd, but I don't think you need to pull the whole curtain back and be like, I felt that for the first time ever, I felt that my life was in danger. Like that to me was like, man, dude, you're trying to pull at some strings that might not be there. But here's my thing. I will say to some of the things of what you said. I think CM Punk came back to AEW thinking, okay, I'm the bigwig. I have a vision for how I want this to go. And I don't think he thought that there was going to be a lot of, walls. I think he thought that they were going to go, well, okay, Mr. Punk. Okay.
They did, Sean.
Tony did.
And who is the boss of AEW? Who runs the show?
Get that. But again, you have EVPs. This is what I said too before when I said Tony's at fault for some of this. But again, once you realize that, okay, like CM Punk had this vision. At least this is me reading through everything else. He had a vision of what he wanted. Dude. He kept the head of creative out of Collision. Like how do you do that? You can't sit there and think that unless Tony Khan says CM Punk is Collision, like, bro, like at some point you've got to understand that, okay, I'm just here, and again, he said he had 2 contracts, one as a wrestler and one in the office. They got rid of both of them. What was his role in the office? But again, if that's not, set in stone, then at some point CM Punk needs to go, okay, Tony, what are we doing here? Or whatever. But you can't keep going around that I'm CM Punk. So you think everybody else is going to bow down?
Yes, because your boss has made it clear, loud and clear to everybody that he's basically running a whole show by himself.
When did he say CM Punk is running it?
I think he should have said something behind the doors. Behind doors, he should have said something.
Did he?
I don't think No, he didn't.
Did he?
No, he didn't. He didn't.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, and again, if you're CM Punk, at some point you gotta be like, hey, are we gonna make this my thing or what are we doing? Because ultimately, what you've done is you alienated a lot of, all of a sudden, Christopher Daniels can't be on Collision. Matt Hardy can't be on Collision. Nemeth can't be on Collision. Jungle Boy can't be on Collision. This guy can't be. At what point? I get it, what you're saying. But when you're another talent, what do you got to do? Go over there and walk on eggshells so Mr. Punk can anoint me? I can come to Collision to wrestle? Like at some point, man, dude, you're still behind the curtain. You're men and women. You're men and women. You're not going to sit there and downplay me like, I get it. You're CM Punk. I get it. You've been places. But until Tony Khan says you're bigger than what you are, you're still just another performer with me. We are peers. Treat me with some respect.
I think Tony Khan should have treated CM Punk with some respect. He should have gone ahead and he should have gone and just been very upfront with the guy and told him, hey, look, you don't run shit here. I do. And now you're blaming him. Now you're talking all this crap. Now you're saying that your life is threatened.
Frankie, but who? Let me ask you this right now: Who punched who? Who grabbed who by the throat? Who put who in a front face lock?
All right.
Again, it's still a working environment. I get it that they're 1099. I get it that they're independent contractors, but you can't go around fucking putting people in damn headlocks.
Okay.
If you're not in the ring,
fair.
I get it. You can be in the back and you can be practicing it. You can't choke somebody out, bro.
Fair. So, okay, let me ask you this. He went and he complained about how his life was threatened and everything. I shared something with you. Can you pull it up on the screen for a second? Okay. I want the people to see this. All right. So this is what I found. If you're feeling threatened, if you're feeling that somebody has gone ahead and effed up the show, Why in God's green earth are you taking pictures backstage after the fight with?
Are you sure that's after?
That is after.
Okay. No, I'm just saying. But also, that's Jerry Lynn and the referee of the match.
That was after. From what I was informed, that was after. So if you're taking photos and you're doing it, and it's obviously you have to be after, because look, they already look like they've been sweating and they've been beating their faces.
I can't see in the picture. Mine's very, very small. So.
Oh yeah, it doesn't look that great. Oh my bad. Okay, well,
no, it's just smaller than. I mean, maybe other people can see it better on my screen because I got the screen also and running everything. I can't.
I gotcha. So if you look at it, man, if somebody who's threatening you, somebody who you feel that is not supposed to be there, somebody who's bad for the company, why the hell are you allowing this? Why are these guys taking photos backstage?
Well, you also have to remember that
with the poison, right? Because that's what he is, supposedly the poison. Nah, man, get out of here. That's ridiculous.
Well, you have to remember too, Jack Perry was removed from the building, and CM Punk had security with him as soon as he came back in.
But if your life was threatened, and if you feel that
Tony Khan's on the picture, bro. I mean, like, that's the one who made the comment. If Tony Khan was back there with them doing the pictures, I'd be like, okay.
But then why would he say that crap?
Again, Tony Khan overreacted to try to get some pity. That's what he did. He said some stupid stuff there. And look, maybe for some of them, they did. I heard there was monitors knocked over. I heard that. And again, if you watched AEW All Access, they stack monitors on top of each other. It's not like they're sitting back there at this beautifully drawn up studio. So he probably felt his life was in danger because all the crap they got stacked up on top of him came falling towards him. You know, but again, man, you can't, it doesn't matter. I mean, you sit there and you can be upset that he fired CM Punk, but
I am upset that he fired Punk. He made a terrible mistake.
You make your decisions. You have to live with your decisions.
Why is Jack Perry still employed?
Again, here's the whole thing.
Hold on.
There goes Frankie again. The whole thing though was this. Did Jack Perry need to say what he had to say, what he said during the pay-per-view? No.
I'm back.
But did he go back there and slap CM Punk? Did he go back there and be like, you see, that's why you use real glass there, bam, and slap him? No. Look, if you can't take words being spoken to you without having to put somebody in a chokehold, bro, you got a lot more issues, man. You got a lot more issues, bro. You're too high strung. You're too high strung. And that's part of the problem because there's so much built up that I believe he snapped and took it out on Jack Perry because Jack Perry was the one that was there.
He should fire Jack Perry. If you're going to fire CM Punk, get rid of Jack Perry. There's no reason why to keep that guy. That guy is an idiot.
There's not, but at the same time, did he do anything to...
Yeah, he provoked him. He provoked him.
Anybody can provoke anybody, man. You don't have to act on it. Dude, he bit the poisonous apple. That's what CM Punk did.
You're gonna keep Jack Perry over CM Punk? Get out of here, man. Get rid of both of them. That's the most logical thing to do.
You gotta see the video and see what went down, man. Again, we're going all this off of stories and news and reports and everything else. Nobody's got any hard facts. They've got video. They've got eyewitness accounts. And right now, Jack Perry is suspended indefinitely.
Well, release it then.
He's fired.
Release it.
At what point?
Let the fans and the public
see it. Shit. I mean,
because we need to justify.
Who the hell are us as fans? Who the hell are we?
We are the ones that make.
We don't
wrestling.
Yes, but you don't need to be behind the goddamn screen. See, this is what AEW has done wrong. They've entitled fans to think they deserve something.
What? Are you kidding me?
Yes. You can't pull the curtain all the way back and be like, oh, but us fans, we deserve to see what actually went down because CM Punk got fired and my panties are in a ruffle. And I want to know why Pepsi Phil got fired and that damn Jack Perry is just sitting at home suspended.
Wait,
I'm
just
Mr.
a minute.
AEW and I'm entitled to see the video because TMZ tells me I can.
We are living in a world where right now everything is being published in social media, and you're coming you're coming at me. You're coming at me and the fans and the public that we don't have a right to see the video. the hell out
You
of
have the
here.
right to see the video.
We
It
do
happened
deserve
behind
to
the
watch
curtain.
what we
It
say.
happened on the other side of the curtain. Nobody pays money to see what happens on the other side of the curtain. You want that?
Nobody pays money.
all
Who
access.
pays? Who pays for the pay-per-views of AEW? It sure is us, because we're the ones paying.
Okay,
all the
and what
pay-per-views.
happens when they
Who-
come
who
down?
took-
When they come
who
down?
took it?
When they come down the ramp, what happens? You get your money's worth.
Who
You don't
come-
get to watch them walk into the arena. It's not a goddamn red carpet.
Who watches AEW Dynamite? Who watches WWE Monday Night Raw, SmackDown? Who brings the ratings? Who
You
brings
watch what's in the ring. You watch what's in the ring.
Who buys the merchandise? Who does all this stuff? The fans do, man. We do.
Okay.
We deserve to know what is going on. I'm not saying
You don't, man. You don't deserve shit.
I'm not saying
Pay
that
your ticket. Watch the show that's put on in front of you. You don't need to watch the stuff that's going on backstage. If they want to pay $29.99, sign up for AEW backstage. Make some money off of it.
We don't need to.
There's
We don't
no
need.
damn way you're going to sit there and tell me I pay my hard-earned money, so I should see a video of what happened backstage.
Okay,
no goddamn way.
You know what? Cut the hypocrisy here, bro. What did TK actually put on TBS or on TNT? He was doing the backstage stuff because everybody wanted to see and tune into it. When
He
Cody
edited backstage.
When Cody Rhodes had his own show, what did they do? They would go backstage and they would show it. When The Miz,
this is where AEW said I'm entitled. This is where AEW made fans entitled. The stuff on The Miz was barely backstage. There's very few things. That every once in a while you'd have a people sitting there talking on a box or catering, and then they would show them wrestling. They didn't go backstage and show them working through matches. I mean, come on, man.
Look, man. Look, I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm gonna say something right now. We the fans, we the public. I'm not saying that we need to know everything that's going on backstage, but something this important, this crucial. You know how many fans are missing out because we just lost probably the best wrestler right now.
Put a GoFundMe together, put your money together, and purchase CM Punk's contract and watch him wrestle. I watched The Miz wrestle nobody. I'm sure CM Punk can do a great match against the Invisible Man.
I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you
for all
right
you fans
now,
that are owed it.
We need to know what happened, and especially if TK comes out like a little pansy, sits down and starts addressing the whole goddamn public and making these accusations. Where's the proof? Show us the proof. If he never even came out and sat down and said all this spiel about, hey, my life was threatened and all this crap, then I agree with you 100%. Leave it alone. But you know what? He put himself out there. He's the one that's going ahead and trying to address the crowd, trying to tell the crowd what happened. You know what? You know what happened. Show it to us. Don't tell us. Show it to us because you put yourself in that position. You're the one that
you owe it to us, TK. You owe it to me because I'm an entitled AEW fan who paid to watch your show.
He put himself in that situation.
No, he told you exactly how he felt, and that's it. Done. Why does he have to show you a video? Why does he show you anything?
Because it's out there. It's out there right now.
Has anybody seen it? Is it out there?
He needs to put it out there.
Oh, I'm just saying. Again. Here's the other thing I'll tell you right now. TMZ does what? TMZ purchases videos, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee you Tony Khan went straight to Wembley Stadium and said, hey, I will give you more money than TMZ can give you. Make sure that video does not come out.
I doubt it.
Please. They don't want that out. Even if it's CM Punk punching Tony Khan in the face 50 times, I don't want that coming out. You don't.
I doubt it, man. It'll come out. Eventually, it'll come out.
We'll see.
Good good publicity or bad publicity, it's still publicity at the end of the day.
No, but it's not. But it's a fired person, and then again, CM Punk's going to lawsuit. He's going to lawyer up and sue this. I mean.
Well, I think that was the gimmick of Tony Khan.
Don't want to pay his contract.
I think that's why Tony Khan said what he said to cover his ass, because he's like, yo, he's gonna come and sue me. So what's the easiest way to defend a lawsuit? Hey, I was threatened. I feel like my life is on the line. Get out of here, man. Get out of here.
When that lawsuit comes available, then that's probably when we'll see the video.
Get out of here. And then you don't want to fire Jack Perry again. If it was, I know. He didn't instigate the situation as far as physically, but he was the one who provoked it. He was the one who started this whole crap from the beginning. And you're telling me you're firing a guy because of a segment, because of like a glass, because we had told them no, don't use the glass, we use the other type of material? Get out of here, man. Like, how disrespectful is that, bro? You fired a guy
How much of
for
being
some
a little
stupid crap.
I mean, are we like 12 years old? I told you not to use glass, and you use glass, and then you said it in front
Exactly.
of me. I'm gonna punch you in the face. That's 12-year-old mentality, man.
Look, man, when you go up there,
Be a man, bro. Be a man. That's just
who? Oh, Jack Perry? Yeah, Jack Perry be a man. Yes.
What does CM Punk get? Even if he just walked up to Jack Perry, punched him in the face, one punch, knocked him out. That's it. What do you get out of it? What do you get out of it? What is the end game?
I obviously he's
What
gonna
is the
get
end game?
he's gonna get in trouble.
Game. It's about being a freaking professional, dude.
Yeah, but the guy was fed up. How much crap has the guy been going through?
But again, then go with Samoa Joe or whatever and be like, Joe, get me out of here. Get me out of here. I'm gonna do something stupid.
Well, I don't think CM Punk has somebody right now that is telling him or guiding him as best as it can. Because obviously, if you have certain people, like let's look, we're both Miami Dolphin fans. We could go ahead and talk about the Tyreek Hill when he went and he slapped that guy at the boat and stuff like that. And his fans held him back. I mean, his friends held him back. So yeah, CM Punk doesn't. If I hope that if there was other wrestlers around that area, let's say for example FTR or somebody out there would have grabbed him and said, "Yo, CM Punk, chill out, dude, chill out. Like you're going overboard." I don't know if he has that at AEW. I really don't, because if he went that far, it's like if you and me are at a place and then somebody's wilding you up. I'm gonna try to hold you back and be like, "Yo, Sean, chill,
yeah.
dude. Don't waste your time with this, man. Cops can come. It could get ugly out here. I'm gonna do that." Nobody did that for him, man. Nobody. Apparently,
Joe grabbed them away. Joe got mad at him for doing it. We don't know. Again, the thing is the steps of how everything happened. How quick did it go off? How was CM Punk? Again, he was there. They passed each other, and then that's kind of when everything went down. Then that happened right in the gorilla position before you're walking out to the ring. So, I mean,
look, I don't know.
Stopped him that quick? Was it just a quick slap and a pie face right into then Jungle Boy tried to lunge at him? I don't know.
Cap, I see what you're saying. You're saying you don't know exactly why he got fired. I don't know either. I have no idea why he got fired. He should have never been fired in the first place.
Because he took something physical, man. You don't handle disagreements by just, I get it, everybody. How come every time everybody uses the F word, which I hate about wrestling, but then when it gets real, then it's like, well, I don't understand why we can't just punch people in the face. It's not UFC, people. It's not. I mean, well, it's not.
It's wrestling, man. You got a whole bunch of guys with a lot of testosterone out there.
But you have to be professional. You have to trust that person is going to be professional.
Jack Perry wasn't being professional. Neither was CM Punk. That's why you fire both of them. Get rid of both of them. Again, you don't need Jack Perry.
But again, Jack Perry also wasn't just coming back off an injury and a suspension for having a fight with other people last year. Same time frame, by the way.
So he was suspended before.
What?
Jack Perry was suspended before?
No, I'm saying he wasn't the one coming off of a suspension and an injury for a fight before. That was CM Punk.
That was provoked by somebody else besides CM Punk.
I get this. I get it that everybody provokes CM Punk.
Yes.
But you ain't got to fall for it every time. You don't have to fall for it every time, man.
But do you really think
don't if you're right there in front of everybody, you can't just look over and be like, "Hey, TK, you see how this little bastard's trying to provoke me?" You can't just turn it around and no, I got to sit there and grab him by the throat and then put him in the chokehold because I'm pissed off because everybody else has been provoking me all this time, and I'm going to take it out on this little guy?
Sean, the first time he was with that whole situation with the Elite and Kenny Omega and all that stuff, the guy was in his locker room the Elite came banging into his freaking room, locker room, and started the fight.
Hold on a minute. You being the CM Punk, I guess you got red and blue on the mind. It all started and they went to there because they were told what CM Punk called them during the press conference.
And how professional was that?
Not professional at all. I'm not defending any of it. To me, it's all stupid.
And then
it's all stupid.
And then you suspend CM Punk because he's defending himself, because obviously these guys were getting on his face, and I'm pretty sure they were provoking him. And we don't know what happened. A small little push, a small little confrontation in front of their face. I mean, the guy was heated. I'm pretty sure that could have happened.
What should have happened during that press conference? Tony Khan should have been like, "That's enough. Stopped it right there." When CM Punk went all little.
I agree.
On everybody. I
agree.
He should have ended it right there. He should have ended it and been like, "That we're done with this stuff."
Okay, and then here comes the second altercation, and supposedly this is in the backstage. Where was security? Where the hell was the people to separate these guys? Why were the
security in Gorilla again? Again, let me. Can I tell you something? The security guys are the independent wrestlers that had the tryout during the day, and they throw security shirts on them and make them security. Because you believe that all your men and women in the locker room are gonna be professionals, and you don't sit there with armed security at the Gorilla position like, "You're gonna have a problem today."
Okay,
you're gonna have a problem.
Hold on. I gotta address something, because I know Tool Time hates CM Punk. Look, I'm gonna tell you something, Tool Time. What happened here? He did not go ahead and insult AEW. He went ahead and he got said so much crap.
He's talking about the first one.
Exactly. He got said so much crap to him that he had to go ahead and address it. And let's keep in mind, this was a reporter that asked him this question, and he responded. He didn't go ahead and say, "Look, I'm just gonna keep quiet or not talk about it." He went ahead and told all of us how he felt. He was keeping it real. And I think at the end of the day, once again, he was provoked. Everybody in AEW apparently wanted to start beef with this guy. And what happened with this guy? He's too easy to provoke. He's like a freaking time bomb ready to explode. And if you keep poking,
I think what the problem is he thought he was untouchable.
I don't think that was the case, man. I don't think that was the case. You want to know why? Because he got suspended the first time.
Yeah, but he was injured. So yeah, it's easy to be like, "Hey, you're suspended," and then when your injury's over, boom, you're coming back. I mean, yeah, we're gonna act like you're suspended because your injury and this and that. So now he comes back, and again, it's the same thing, man. And I get it that, look, you can be provoked all you want, man. But I mean, at what point 3 pay-per-views, they had to have these guys getting dressed in opposite ends of the stadium. Like, I mean, bro, what kind of company is that?
I agree. But that goes to show you how bad TK has been managing his wrestlers overall. Because he doesn't know what he's doing.
We were doing something different. And different is not always going to work.
I'm going to tell you something right now. I honestly feel that CM Punk got the bad end of the stick. And the reason I say that is because if you're going to fire both of them. I don't care that Jack Perry did not physically get into it with CM Punk. CM Punk was the one who actually, I guess, choked or whatnot. Whatever happened backstage. Again, TK, release the goddamn information. Show it to us. Because you know what? We're the fans. We're the ones that actually want
to. Yeah, but the fact that they fired CM Punk for it, I think you know the way the story's going to go.
That's fine.
I mean, you're not gonna. You're not. We don't
know. We don't know all this stuff.
You're not firing a guy who's got that much money on a contract, with cause, by the way, from 2 contracts, with cause. If you're just gonna sit there and be like, "Hey guys, let's huddle up and get all our stories together," but there's more there, man. I mean,
sometimes there's more there. Look at the thing of the Tyreek Hill. Look at the Tyreek Hill thing. We were looking at that Tyreek Hill stuff, and we were saying, "Hey, Tyreek Hill destroyed that guy. He did something, and all he did was do a little slap. Granted, it wasn't the right thing to do, but it was just a little slap. It wasn't something crazy, and people blew it up. The same thing with the whole thing with
But the fact that it got physical ball, dude, like you can't just somebody upsets you and you're gonna choke them or slap them in the back of the head. And either way, even with the
we don't know what Jack Perry did. We don't know if Jack Perry got in his face. You don't know if that guy spit at him. You don't know any of that stuff,
bro. Like, oh man,
we don't know the extent.
You're at work, man. You're at work. You're at work. If any of us go to a job and we get into a fight with somebody,
both people get fired. Both.
Not all the time.
Both should.
I was at a job. I watched a guy not do anything, get beat down, and I watched 3 people get fired, and not him. And he talked the talk, and he didn't have to walk the walk.
Maybe because he thought he brought, I don't know, maybe he brought something to the company more than.
No, because all he did was talk. He got suspended, but he didn't get fired because all he did was talk. Look what we're doing right now. We're talking. So right now, the way I'm talking about CM Punk, if he came up to me and choked me right now, then it's my fault. That's what you're telling me.
No, because you didn't provoke him.
I'm disagreeing with CM Punk, and I'm provoking him right now.
You're not provoking him.
Calling him whatever. I'm telling you he's unprofessional, but now if he walked up to me and I called him unprofessional and everything else, he got in my face, and then he pie-faced me, and then he choked me, I should get fired too.
I think there's more to it when it comes to the Jack Perry side. And I think Jack Perry.
I'm not going to, again, we've talked about this.
Get him out of here.
I get it, he instigated it. But is that enough to cause for firing?
Yes.
Ooh. All right.
Yes. Yeah. It is what it is. That's how I feel about it. I think he came whatever decision he made, and I'm reading. Reports are saying that the locker room is backstage. People are doing a lot better after CM Punk left and all that stuff. Good for you. Good for AEW. I hope they do make it. Now, my question to you is, how do you recover from this? And I told you this, and I think I responded to Tool Time. I think I responded to you guys on Twitter or X. The AEW needs to sign Edge. He needs to come to AEW. He needs to come to AEW, and we could tell by the results of what happened on Saturday on Collision. The viewership went down.
I told you that's going to happen.
Yeah, we know.
College football is king, man. I don't care if it's Tulane against Eastern Michigan. It's going to draw more than pro wrestling.
I understand that. But you add now CM Punk, who was the image of that show.
It was going down. There was CM Punk on there. It was going.
It wasn't going down. The viewership was going up. What are you talking about?
It went up one time with the Ricky Starks match with Steamboat.
It was trending in the right direction. It was trending in the right
direction. I would have loved to wait till CM Punk win against college football.
I would have liked that as well, but there was a thing that was saying that 89,000 viewers left because CM Punk left. That the only way you could make it. I'm gonna tell you something right now, and this is and now that we're jumping a little bit.
Was it 89,000 left from that, or because it was kickoff to the 8 p.m.
Bro,
8:15. 8:15 is the time the kickoff is.
Sean,
for a college football game on ABC.
You're making it seem like all these wrestling fans are diehard college football fans too. There is a variety of fans that are diehard wrestlers and are going to tune into wrestling instead of college football.
Yes, I am one. There is, again, wrestling fans who will not. And when college football, I'll watch wrestling up until the kick. When they kick, boop, I'm kicking over to the other channel. That's just the way it goes. I'll watch up until whenever the kick, and then when football's back, I'm not gonna sit there and watch the post game and the pre-game of the next one and all that stuff. No, I'll watch the wrestling in between. Go back out.
I mean, if I'm able to record, the show, then obviously I'll watch the football. Yeah,
I record them all.
But I will tell you this. If the show is well sold, which is where they were going with the whole Ricky Steamboat and Ricky Stark situation, it gets my attention. I tuned into Collision before I actually tuned into Payback. I'm telling you right now. And obviously I could see Payback on Peacock because it was gonna be, you could always see the fight before. But I wanted to see what was going on with Collision. And that's the way the fans overall in general are. Whatever is hot right now, I'm gonna tune in. I don't have to go look at the University of Florida play against Utah at the same time with collisions going on when I know that something's going on right now. And I know a football game is gonna last 3 hours at least. So I'm gonna go ahead and watch that first. So you need to keep it interesting. And by losing CM Punk now, the only way you recover it is by bringing Edge, or maybe it will help if you bring Mercedes Moné, which I think they're going to eventually bring her. But I don't think she has enough firepower to bring a lot of fan base. I think Edge does. And no, Edge does not wash, Mr. Memo. Edge still has a lot in him. There's a lot of crucial fights that he could actually do in AEW. And number two, this whole crap about splitting the roster and bringing them back together is the biggest mistake ever. I thought splitting the roster was the right thing to do. I honestly found it intriguing that if I wanted to watch Dynamite, I get to see these wrestlers, and when I want to watch Collision, I get to watch these wrestlers. When you combine everything together, what's the point of, hey, if I miss
there were
Collision,
still some people that were going back and forth. It wasn't everybody that was.
True.
It wasn't like one roster. It was a soft roster split.
True.
But everybody didn't get along with everybody else, and then who they get along with could come over and be on there.
But again, you allow a soft roster split, and it makes it more entertaining. Why did WWE get such a huge pop when Jay made his way over to Monday Night Raw? Why? Because now he's in Raw. They sold it to us. And now what? What did we all do? We went and said, and what was the main topic of WWE? Oh, main event Jey Uso. Awesome. Let's go. It's just the same brand. But WWE is creative. WWE said, wait, we need to be able to cater and make both shows interesting. And the only way to do it is by splitting this roster. And I thought AEW should have done the exact same thing. There's a reason why I would tune into Collision. Miro doesn't go to Dynamite. Andrade doesn't go to Dynamite. The Bullet, this guy Juice and Jay White, they weren't going to Dynamite as much. Now they brought them over to Dynamite. CM Punk, FTR, those guys were all at Collision. I wanted to see them wrestle. If I saw them wrestle on Wednesday, then probably see the replay of them probably wrestling a Rampage and then wrestling again in Collision. What's the point? I don't need to see the same goddamn guy wrestle 3 times. Now they're bringing Orange Cassidy. I saw Orange Cassidy 3 times. 3 times. Do I really want to watch Collision now? Doesn't make any sense, man. And that's what frustrates me when it comes to Tony Khan. I think he needs to bring Edge, especially since they were catering a lot to Canada. You don't know how much Canadian base would love Edge. And then you could do so much intriguing stories, connecting him with Christian again or whatnot. There's so many things you could do. I just think AEW drops the ball in those things.
Yeah, but also, I mean, look, if I'm Edge, I'm intrigued. But I'm also going to get some stuff written in my contract. After all this stuff goes down, I'm CYAing if I'm going to AEW, this is A, B, C, D, E, F, G of what I want. And this is what I want to do. This is
make it clear, yeah.
No, you're going to have to go through because this
I agree.
I don't know, man. I'm not going to sit there and say but I mean, when you look at people that come over, they haven't handled everybody that great, man. They've handled them good, but not great. So
I think the face of Collision could be Edge, and I think Edge would bring that spark that they need. Would it be as big as CM Punk? Maybe not, but at least it would bring something different to AEW. You bring him, you bring Mercedes Moné, you keep him in Collision, and I'll tune in. A lot of people will tune in. And I know Chad wrote and he said, Frankie, I still watch. He says I was watching AEW before Punk. I'm still be watching. Chad, Collision started with Punk. So Dynamite we know, but we're talking about Collision here. We started it with Punk. Are we gonna continue watching it? I don't know.
Is it gonna? It was made for Punk.
Exactly. And then you fire the guy. But
I mean, again, though, man, you can't sit there and let people walk around beating people up in the back. You just can't do it, man. You can't do it.
Yeah, you let Eddie Kingston feud with Sammy Guevara. You let Kenny Omega, the Beyond Bucks, all these people fight. We don't even know what other stuff happens.
Let me ask you something, though. Didn't Kingston and Guevara kind of settle it themselves? Like, bro, I'm never going to like you, but I respect you, right? They handled themselves, right? Professionals. They did
I think Sammy Guevara did a professional thing by going up to him. And the only reason those two were able to get to that level is because they're not to the level of like a Roman Reigns.
Neither one of them think they're the
they're
neither
not,
one of them is above everybody else.
Exactly.
Hey, imagine that.
Exactly.
Imagine that. Imagine if you actually talk to people like they're people. Treated them like they're people instead of peasants. Be gone! You guys do not deserve me.
Don't provoke people, bro.
I am a Pepsi Phil.
Don't provoke people, man. Don't provoke people and start laying down these accusations just to save his butt behind from a lawsuit. Because he's gonna get sued, bro. I hope CM Punk sues the crap out of AEW and gets them for as much as it can. Because I just feel that they did CM Punk bad. They did CM Punk bad. But we've been talking for this for like about 50 minutes now.
Is it?
We're gonna.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, I appreciate you supporting CM Punk too. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. The last thing I want to kind of bring up about AEW was, again, like I told you, AEW just makes some dumb mistakes. So
are they dumb mistakes or they're just Frankie doesn't like them?
They're dumb mistakes.
Okay, let me hear it.
All right, so they do a great job with All In, right? All In or All Out? What was the last one that just came out? All Out?
I got mixed up. It's all in between.
Whatever. The last one that they had.
All In was the last one.
Okay. They nailed it. You got MJF coming up the ramp. You got Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe pushes him. MJF is upset, goes back and attacks Samoa Joe. They split him up, and that's it. Now you got Dynamite. And you got MJF talking. MJF is talking. And he brings up the whole Samoa Joe situation. Samoa Joe comes out. Why in God's green earth is there a freaking tournament for the winner to fight MJF? What is the significance of that tournament?
When does the tournament winner, though, fight MJF?
Well, I don't know. I haven't looked at those. I don't even remember some of their tournaments that they've been doing the last couple of times. But does it make any sense to have a stupid tournament if you know that everybody wants to see Samoa Joe versus MJF? Does it make any sense? It doesn't make any sense. It's terrible, terrible storytelling. Like, why are you selling Samoa Joe and MJF and then have a stupid tournament to see who goes against MJF? And Samoa Joe is in the tournament. We all know that at the end of the day, Samoa Joe should win that tournament because that's what everybody wants to see.
Nope. Have MJF cost Samoa Joe. And then, because again, Grand Slam is going to be on AEW on TV on whatever, Wednesday, Dynamite. That's a Grand Slam thing. So I think I believe if they're smart, they have MJF cost Samoa Joe, which keeps that going. Let Roderick Strong win. Then you have Roderick Strong against MJF in MJF's hometown. Then you let Samoa Joe crash that match, decimate MJF to set up for there. And Adam Cole comes down, Roderick Strong and Adam Cole fight. Now you've created two feuds for your next pay-per-view.
You could do that, but I don't even think Roderick Strong is going to win the tournament.
Well, I'm looking at the sides. I mean, you have who went on? It was
I think Roderick Strong is fighting Darby Allin because
so
Darby
it's Roderick against Darby, and then you've got, I'm guessing, going to be Samoa against Penta on the other side after Collision.
Yeah. And then Samoa's going to be Penta. And it makes sense that Roderick Strong beats Darby Allin because the only other one that has technically the storyline would be Roderick Strong, right?
Yeah, and then that way you can do the two. That's what I don't think it was cut and dry. Like, I think what they wanted everybody to do was think exactly. And again, maybe that's the thinking. I'm not sitting here saying it's not the thinking, but to me, you keep it going, and then you can have Samoa Joe come down and crush MJF in his hometown to even set that feud up for even more than anything else. Instead of having, I mean, again, knowing Tony Khan, you're probably right. MJF wins the tournament. I'm sorry, Samoa Joe wins the tournament and goes and fights MJF on free TV. Then something will happen there, and then they'll want us to pay $49.99 to get the pay-per-view to watch the same match again.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping, my hope is they run this back and Roderick Strong wins it, and then they attack, beat down MJF. Adam Cole comes out. They can even lay them out. Then the next Dynamite, it could be Samoa Joe and Roderick Strong taking on MJF and Adam Cole for the Ring of Honor tag title, whatever the hell they want to do. But then they can at least run that to the next pay-per-view.
But I don't even think they're going to get any of that right. Sorry, and sorry if you see me doing.
But Bryan Danielson did say he's taking a bigger role in creative now on Collision and on Dynamite, or I think more Collision though. But he's going to have a little bit of say since now that Ace Steel got fired again. By the
way, I'm pretty sure he just quit. He said, "Screw this, I'm not staying here."
No, they released him today. He was signed till 2024. They let him go.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. It just, the storyline in AEW doesn't make any sense sometimes. Like, it really doesn't. I think everybody wants to see the Samoa Joe. Why are you dragging this stupid tournament? It just doesn't make any sense.
Because they don't have pay-per-views every month, man.
But again, man, you have a whole segment about just MJF and Samoa Joe. Like, why can't you be more a little bit
up for it? I mean, they're too good, you know. MJF,
yeah, you
and stuff. So
yeah, you build it up without having to do a tournament. You build it up by actually just having them wrestle and continue this feud.
No, but you don't want them to. I don't think you want them to touch each other in a match. Maybe
you
a
let
tag
them.
team match.
You let them already touch themselves, like already attack each other during the pay-per-view and the second thing.
Attack is different. When you watch a one-on-one match, what are you going to do different in a pay-per-view match? What's going to change from what I saw one-on-one right there?
And I also
do differently. That's the problem that happened with WWE when Vince McMahon was running it. He got lazy. He's like, they only pay $4.99 for my pay-per-views anyways. Screw them. And people would go watch it because that's why you had this rematch and this rematch, and it became Rematch Raw and SmackDown again and everything else. It was just, it got lazy. It got lazy.
I honestly feel that doing a tournament is being lazy. I think you could do better storyline telling than having a tournament where you don't need it. You don't need it. You got everybody invested in this Samoa Joe MJF. They did a great job. And then let's I mean, I don't want to go too much into detail about it, but then you have the Dynamite situation. You have that whole promo. Like I was listening to Busted Open, and this guy was talking about it. Damn it, not Devon Dudley. What's the other guy's name? No, it was Bubba. Bubba Ray. Bubba Ray was talking, and he was like, "Yo, those nut shots, like, do they make any sense? Are they selling it?" And I agree with 100%. What they should have done in Dynamite is, as soon as Samoa Joe pulled the rope and it hit MJF on the nuts, should have just walked out and called it a day. But again, the bad decisions of
I honestly think it should have just been MJF walking out.
That could have happened.
I don't think you need to go any farther than that.
That could have happened. I agree. But if you wanted to go a little bit further, that's fine. You hit him. You kick the rope.
Yeah, see, I think
Samoa Joe and you walk out
at the pay-per-view by pushing him like he did before.
No, but remember, they ran. They started. MJF ran into the ring.
They brawled in their thing. So there they did a little bit. But what I'm saying though is that was his win. Then you could have gave MJF the win this time by just letting him say his piece and then leaving.
But that's the problem with there doesn't have to be a win. All you don't want to create because
there has to be a win. By a win, I don't mean leaving somebody laying. MJF won the battle of the Gab. That's a win for that character. You can't have Samoa Joe come out and decimate MJF for 6 straight weeks. That doesn't work. That's Cody Rhodes stuff.
But
right? For me, MJF said his piece, did the ice cream stuff, said all his stuff about William Regal, this and that. He won on the microphone. Done. He said his piece. Boom. Walk out. Let him go. Let Samoa Joe stand there and be like,
okay,
up, mad, and everything else, and then done with it. That was done. And then you can run it back again some other time. It's just like, because you had MJF, and that's the other thing. Like, I don't know that they should have MJF run to the ring and attack him there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I know.
Push and be like, that mofo. And then you put him out for this promo, and then you could have went from there. And now you
what they should have done, I think I would have done, is, hey, when he pushed him like that and MJF got upset, I think he should have started like charging to the ring, but Adam Cole holds him back and be like, nah, don't worry about this, whatever. And then MJF kind of comes out because Adam Cole is like his brochacho, so obviously you calm him down and then MJF. But the more you go ahead and the more you put these guys clashing into each other, the more it's kind of hurting the fight because
these guys you've already seen it. You've
exactly.
Seen
that's what pisses me off because like
that's old. That's not even old school. But it's like Tony Khan. And again, I don't know that TK's booking all this, so I apologize wherever he's got. But
that's crazy.
It feels like it's like one of those things where like, okay, this is how they did it. Well, you know what? I need to add my twist to it. I need to squeeze my lemon on it. And he's got like, I got to put that TK twist on it. And it's like, we got to do this. And well, it's going to be different because I'm doing this. And it's like, well, sometimes things aren't broke. You got to always try to fix everything and change it and make it yours. I mean, dude, with the wheels there, it's round. It's going to roll. You got to figure out, yeah, you can put a little thing, different. What you can put a tin can in the spokes and you put all this stuff and make different noises with it. But the wheel's always round. You're not making a square wheel. I don't know, but sometimes I feel like he thinks that is just like, oh, I'm going to do this and it's going to be so awe-inspiring. And it's like a little too much. It's a little too much.
Again, I think some of those that tournament was stupid. I think they had something with the
Samoa Joe tournament stupid. Would I put Samoa Joe in it? I don't know, but
okay, I agree with that. I agree. Again, you know what? That makes sense.
I think you hold Samoa Joe out of it so that it's somebody else, because I don't think you give. And again, this is where I will sit here and say, and no doubt says baseball cards in the spoke. Sorry, you might be right. So the only thing that I disagree with AEW every time is that you give so much for free. If you give me Samoa Joe against MJF for the heavyweight title on AEW Dynamite because you're trying to sell out Arthur Ashe Stadium, like, man, bro, like, I got to question some stuff, man. I got to question some stuff.
That I agree. And that's pretty much, what has been happening in AEW, to be honest with you. So we go from there.
All right. Is it now time for the top 5 no debating list? CM Punk's top 5 opponents?
Sure. Now, keep in mind, I will tell you something. I'm winging this because I did not get a chance. I've been a little bit tied up with work. So I'm going to wing it.
You just want to go with my list and then that's it? That'll be the Squared Circle Digest list?
Absolutely not. It's CM Punk. I have to also chime in and make sure that.
All right, well, we're going to go one. You're going to do your 5 and then I'll do my 5.
No.
Yes.
Dad, you're making me. Let me see if I could get. Can I get this bigger?
No, that came out good. That was good.
All right, so that one looked better.
That one looks better. Yeah, the picture was like it was black on the top and the bottom, and the picture was right in the middle. So it was one of those things.
Okay, sorry. All right, so I'm gonna wing it, and I'm gonna say, and I honestly feel CM Punk is gonna make his way over to WWE. I hope he does. I hope.
Yeah, I think that ship has sailed, man.
I think Triple H is gonna give him a shot.
If somebody says, okay, I'll do a match with them or whatever, could he be brought in for a one-off, a return at a Royal Rumble, a match at WrestleMania, maybe signed? I don't know.
But now let me ask you this: is the CM Punk opponents could just be anybody, or
Who do you think is your top 5 opponents for him?
in any organization, anything in particular? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but it should be like people that he's fought. They were his opponents. It's not like a dream match situation.
Oh, okay.
That he's fought.
So his top 5 like opponents that
he's fought.
That he's fought. Okay, not that he could potentially fight.
Yeah, no. This isn't dream match scenario. This is top 5 of who he's fought.
Okay, makes sense.
We never know. His career might come to an end.
Okay. So I will go ahead and say number 5, I would put Samoa Joe. And the reason I would put Samoa Joe is because they never had enough steam to make it more intriguing. Like they weren't able to build on it as much as I wish they would. It was good, but it just wasn't enough for them to go ahead and get it. But can we go back and forth that way? You give me time to also think of some of the other ones that he's fought in. I just want to.
Oh, my number 5 is the same, Samoa Joe.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, why do you think it was Samoa Joe?
No, just because again, I think they've had great matches, and then again, in Ring of Honor back in the day, they've had wars. But when you look at now, it's like it's tough. It's Samoa Joe.
Okay, I get you. Number 4, and I'm just winging it. I think number 4 for me, I'm gonna throw in there and say MJF. And maybe I brought him. Maybe I brought it too quickly. But I think they did a really good job with MJF. They sold it, but at that time, MJF was not at the level that he is now. I wish they would bring it back right now because it's Samoa Joe. I'm sorry, Samoa Joe. MJF is on another level right now. He is on another level. He is the face of AEW, and it would have been great to have seen CM Punk versus MJF now. But of course, your boy Tony Khan had to ruin it. What do you have?
It was the dog collar match with MJF.
Look at that. I'm winging it, guys. I swear to God, I am winging this.
Oh, God.
That goes to show you how much we actually think alike. Okay, let's do this. That way I don't mess it up. What is your number 3?
I'm not telling you mine first.
Why not?
All right, fine. My number 3 is John Cena. And the matches they had, including CM Punk winning in Chicago, taking the belt home, putting it in the refrigerator, and everything else. Great matches for John Cena and CM Punk.
Not bad. I like John Cena. I'm gonna probably spoil it a little bit, but I probably have him a little bit higher up there. I'm gonna go ahead, and I know he didn't fight him, but because it brought all this controversy, I might as well put him on there. Even though I hate his guts, I think he deserves to get fired. But I'm gonna put Jack Perry. I'm gonna put Jack Perry. He didn't fight him, but literally he fought him backstage. Got him fired. It got fired. And you know what? Let's go for it. Put him on the list. It should have been the right person for him to fight next, because Jack Perry, at the end of the day, is the main reason why CM Punk got fired. So that should have been his opponent. Technically, it was his opponent because at the end of the day, they fought backstage. Whether you like it or not, and apparently you like Jack Perry more than I do, but whatever.
My number 2 was the Elite and the backstage incident.
Yo, we're like right there with everything. So tell me, why the Elite? Why do you have him in number 2?
Because it's an opponent that he didn't beat. He couldn't beat him. He couldn't join him. He couldn't beat him.
For me, I will go on a limb here, and hold on a second. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I got this. I'm gonna put this in. This is just a homer for me because I want to make sure I get this right. Was this right? Yeah, I think it was true. Yes, it was. It was for me is Chris Jericho.
Yes, that was good. That was good stuff.
And the reason I put Chris Jericho is not only because of it's mostly of the WWE situation. Like especially in WrestleMania, when I went to WrestleMania in Miami, that was the one his fight. He fought against Chris Jericho, and they had a really good feud between one and the other, and that's one of the reasons why I have my number 2 is Chris Jericho.
My number 1 is a certain wrestler accompanied by a certain person. It was Jack Perry with Tony Khan.
Wow. You know, I should have had him up there. That's a good one. Oh my, why did I put it like that? Tell me why? Why Jack Perry? Why TK? Why they deserve number 1?
The little guy got underneath the big elitist his hair enough to ruffle his feathers to where he felt he needed to choke him out. And then TK comes along and says, I was afraid for my life. And what happens? Poof. CM Punk, he gone.
Well, my number 1 is John Cena. And the reason I say it's John Cena is because that's the first time we actually got that, I guess, what all you guys want to go ahead and say is that diva reaction when he went ahead and he threw pretty much all of WWE and took shots at WWE. And this is where we got the CM Punk, but it actually elevated CM Punk to where he is, where actually people were like, yo, I really, really enjoy CM Punk. I really, really do enjoy what he brings to the table. And John Cena brought that out because John Cena loves to kiss so much of Vince McMahon's ass that CM Punk had to, take a couple shots. And that was when CM Punk, I think his wrestling character propelled him. And that's why I think he's even bigger now than when he is before.
You noticed Vince McMahon didn't stick around with Punk for too long, right? I'm just saying.
No, because remember, he prefers John Cena because Cena probably kissed his butt so much. I wouldn't be surprised if
so.
You remember when Vince McMahon used to drop his pants and have people kiss it? I'm pretty sure John Cena did that. He would do that for like pleasure.
He joined it too. He kissed Rikishi's ass.
Look at that.
And then Chad brought up an interesting one too, which was Colt Cabana. That was another one. I probably should have thrown that one in there too. My whole list was just a rib. That was the only reason I did top 5 opponents, so I could get to the Elite and Jack Perry and Tony Khan at the top.
If you look at our
only reason you threw 3 Jack, I was like, son of them.
If you look at our lists are almost exactly the same except for the Elite and Chris Jericho. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. Yep. And the only reason I put Chris Jericho is, like I said, because I actually saw that fight. And
again, if I was doing like an actual list, I would have thrown Chris Jericho up there. I would have even added Ricky Starks. I thought what they had going was pretty damn good.
It was.
And also he had some great stuff in Ring of Honor. I can't remember everybody that he fought with. I think he had a thing with with Adam Cole as well, or maybe it was right before Adam Cole got there.
Well, there was a I saw something online. And hear me out on this. And before we jump into the WWE, although everybody, let me stop sharing this. That way we can be back on the screen. Although we all don't like CM Punk, we all agree that he's a diva. We all think that he is not the best in the world. Well, you guys do, not me.
I think he's good in the ring, and I don't have a problem with him thinking, because again, this is an ego-driven business, okay? But again, when you let that ego though become the overrider of what your job is, then I have an issue.
No, I respect that. I respect that. My thing is, there was I can't find it now, but there was a post on Twitter.
Yep, go ahead.
And it basically showed everybody that CM Punk fought in AEW. And I'm not talking about physically fighting them. I'm talking about in the ring.
Yeah.
And when you look at who he had to go up against, and again, obviously he went against, off the top of my head, MJF. He fought Bobby Fish. He fought in tags match against Bullet Club Gold. He fought Ricky Stark. He fought Adam Page. Those are some that I could just think of. Darby Allin. Remember, Darby Allin was his very first opponent when he first came to AEW. he put in the work. And for somebody that people say he's a diva and that he likes to start problem and all that stuff, if you look to see everybody that he actually went up against, you gotta give the guy mad respect. The guy could be not the easiest person to deal
Inside
with.
the ring, he's great, man.
But
Inside the ring,
he went with the right man. He came with the mentality of, making AEW a good product and competing with WWE. I think that's what it was. And I think Tony Khan dropped the ball, man. That's what I feel.
no, but I think he came with the vision of what he wanted it to be. And when it didn't become what he wanted it to be, then issues started and the unraveling started. Then he got put into Collision, which was part 2 of now I can make this my vision, and it got wrecked again.
I don't think it went so much with his vision, man, because when he came to AEW, the first thing, it was sold like crazy, right? Like it was all CM Punk, right? Then he gets suspended and they do it all over again. Here it is, AEW, bam, CM Punk again. Oh, CM Punk, we're making a show for just CM Punk. We're doing all this. I mean, can you blame the guy? It looked like Tony Khan was doing everything just for CM Punk. So then why? So I don't think it's CM Punk wanted his own vision. I think mostly it was CM Punk was already being treated like that, and he said, "Okay, I am the face of AEW. I'm gonna be the face of AEW. I have to push it. I don't care about the other guys. This is what Tony Khan is selling to me. I am the face of AEW." I mean,
he go to Tony Khan and be like, "What are you selling me? This is this what you're selling? Because if this is what you're selling, then we need it out there."
Does he really need to do that?
Yes, you need to do that. Unless he's signed up as an EVP. Why? What is different between CM Punk and Jack Perry other than CM Punk's been to WWE and everything else? If it hasn't been sold that he is in charge, he's just another talent.
But he's not just another talent because he wasn't being treated like that, just another talent. He was being treated as main superstar. Kind of like, look at Bryan Danielson. Look at Bryan Danielson.
Okay, so you're going to say, you just said a minute ago that CM Punk got upset because of the way Vince McMahon kissed John Cena's ass.
Yes.
So then the same situation happens here, but now he's John Cena. And he can't see it?
I don't think he's John Cena. He wasn't kissing Tony Khan's ass.
Tony Khan was kissing his ass.
Exactly.
Just like Vince McMahon kissed John Cena's ass because John Cena was making 600 Make-A-Wishes and was bringing them in money. And the kids were purchasing all his stuff. So yes, he kept kissing his ass because he was bringing in the money. And that's what CM Punk hated. But then he turned into that. And then other people hated him for that. And then he couldn't handle it. So he choked somebody.
He didn't choke anybody. He was provoked, and then he had to choke somebody.
So let me ask you this, okay? So what we're doing here is all whatever you want to talk about, okay? John Cena laid in the ring while CM Punk dropped the pipe bomb, right? Did he go to the back and choke him out, even though he made so much fun of John Cena and everything else and told him why he hates Cena and why Cena sucks and why Cena shouldn't be this? Did he get up out of the ring and leave, or did he stay there selling everything professionally and went about his work? Because John Cena could give two shits what CM Punk thinks about him. That's where CM Punk went wrong. You know you're better than Jack Perry. Why go to his level? Why?
Okay, so when CM Punk did the media scrum and he took all those shots at Cocabana and on the Elite, did CM Punk go to Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and all them and beef them up, or was it that they actually came to his room? And keep in mind, these people weren't even watching. Somebody informed them. Why couldn't they be John Cena?
Why when I tell you this, you go back to the other one?
Because
he got fired for that one. He got fired for this one.
But I want to show you exactly how different people react. That's the reason why. You had a John Cena who was professional and said, "I'm gonna keep it classy. I'm not gonna go start up a fight." While on the AEW side, you had a Kenny Omega who's supposed to be professional, who are
Yeah, but
EVPs.
then you still though you walk away from it. That's what I've been trying to tell you for 3 weeks.
They were knocking on his locker room, bro. Walk away from what?
No, when you do get out of this
They probably weren't letting him
somebody
leave.
in there to beat what again. We don't know what happened. We know somebody got bit on the ankle. We know apparently Larry the dog got swiped at. Ace Steel's wife apparently got hit. All that stuff.
I need CM Punk to be CM Punk. If you watch the show AEW, forget about AEW, but CM Punk, if you watch the show, you need to come whenever this whole lawyer situation happens. I know you're gonna sue the hell out of AEW. Once that thing is settled, come to the show. Tell us what exactly happened. We need to hear his side of the story.
He needs to see and hear it. I'm good.
You want to know what happened. We all want to know what happened.
I know what happened. CM Punk got fired.
Yeah.
And AEW will be on tomorrow
wrongfully.
Tomorrow night, on Wednesday night, and keep rolling.
Got fired wrongfully.
Okay.
Let's talk some WWE now.
Yes. Let's talk something that maybe you can.
And Sean, no doubt is asking us what EVP stands for.
Extremely valuable person. Yes, that's exactly what it is. They're executive vice presidents because they came up with the name of the company and actually.
And they could go into other people's locker room and start fights. We love EVPs. And then you fire CM Punk because somebody else provoked them as well.
He didn't do it not once, but twice. Not once, but twice.
And you have CM Punk. You have a pay-per-view where literally CM Punk has to be on the opposite side of the arena because the EVPs.
And you had to record the one time he was on Dynamite. You had to record it. You had to record the Elite.
Man, so I mean,
Tony Khan hasn't made it easy. I'll tell you that much now.
I'm gonna tell you something. I know we're gonna talk WWE.
Yeah, go ahead.
But putting my bias side of CM Punk, because you guys know that I am a CM Punk. I like CM Punk. I'm on CM Punk's side on this. Some of these AEW wrestlers are very, very childish. It just doesn't make any sense. Some of the decisions. I'm talking about CM Punk. I'm talking EVP.
You've allowed the nuts to run the asylum.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
But I cannot wait till Cody can just sit there and be like, this is why I left. Because I honestly feel he was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go, I'm getting out of this while I can.
Remember, my theory has always been that Cody left because after Cody left, AEW has been a roller coaster of
I think he saw the writing on the wall. I think he was probably working on a contract extension. They were probably lowballing him, and he was probably like, okay, Vince, what's your offer? And Vince came to his house, flew to his house, treated him like everything. Didn't even really talk wrestling, talked about him, his family, everything else. And then at the end, he said, what is it going to take me to get you at WrestleMania?
Yep. Yeah, because they needed him at that time.
No, but it also takes two to tango. Cody was ready to leave.
He was.
And I can't wait because he said he'll never come out and say it, but the personal issue was. And I think the personal issue stemmed from, and this is all on me here, is that he took a big time stance and said, I will never fight for a heavyweight title to start pushing MJF and getting him over. And then a week later, the EVP role became just a title, and they took away all that. And Tony Khan started taking over the TV and the writing because he wanted it to be more production. And I think that is where it stemmed from. And then he just went out his contract and said, let me see how this goes. And it didn't go well, I'm guessing. And then he left, which is why I think this time Tony Khan with the Elite put on the proper, push or press, however you want to look at it, to keep the elite, because he saw what happened with Cody.
Yeah.
And you don't want that to happen. I'm not saying that, look, to me, no one person is bigger than wrestling. No one person is bigger than the company. Everybody can get lightning strike in a bottle, and all of a sudden somebody you don't know, don't think will ever take off, takes off. That happens, continuously. What I found interesting too was it was reported, and this, since we're talking WWE now, I can go and talk this now, that LA Knight's push got stalled because they were working on a new contract with him. He inked the contract, and now it's full speed ahead.
Smart business.
We'll see how it goes now, because again, but that's why you do it. You don't give the push and then you don't know. I mean, I don't think there was ever doubt that they would get it worked out. It's not Christian Wilkins and Chris Greer here, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sure they knew they were probably going to get it worked out. But interesting, because now all of a sudden it was like, okay, that makes sense now. Because there was that little lull where they weren't killing him, but it wasn't really, it was organically happening, but they weren't pushing it. It wasn't being pushed by the machine. So now supposedly he's going to be pushed as one of the top baby faces on SmackDown. But what's interesting too,
best decision right now,
is Cody Rhodes announced at Payback that main event Jey Uso goes over to Raw. And, he said, I had to pull some strings and I had to put my EVP hat on and do my things because I was an EVP at another company.
Yeah.
And then when the crowd popped and blew up, I don't know if everybody heard what he said under the pop.
What do you think?
I hope we did the right thing by bringing Jey Uso to Raw. You saw on Raw how everybody walking by him remembered, okay, I remember you hitting me with the chair 300 times, Drew McIntyre, Matt Riddle. You saw the little altercations throughout Raw there. But then Adam Pearce comes out and says, well, since you're on Raw, I have to send somebody to SmackDown.
Yep.
And he says that while wearing the American flag tie.
The subliminal messages.
I'm wondering, and this is where it goes back, because if you tell me LA Knight's going to be the number one babyface on SmackDown, does Cody Rhodes go to SmackDown?
He shouldn't be the one that goes to SmackDown. He shouldn't.
So it's going to be interesting.
He shouldn't. Who do you think? Do you think he should go to SmackDown?
Again, it goes back to where is his story written at WrestleMania? Are we sure his story gets written at WrestleMania? Does he win the title at Survivor Series? Could he beat Roman at Survivor Series? What's going on with the bloodline angle? I mean, like, now I look at the bloodline angle and I'm like, I don't know if there's much left to do.
Well, they should have got rid of it already.
It's hanging on by a string. Tonight it's Jimmy Uso against AJ Styles. I don't know what they're doing. Solo's attacking AJ and everybody else. So that's obviously going to happen there.
And did you see Solo was trying to get Jimmy back on the freaking bloodline?
Yeah.
On SmackDown?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know where they're going with it right now. I almost feel like they're just grasping to keep it moving for a certain amount of time, which would make sense to me to say, okay, Cody shows up. Now he takes it away from Roman. I don't know. I don't know that this goes all the way to WrestleMania. And I don't know that that's what WWE, the whole story. We hear all the time that, oh, Cody Rhodes is going to be back at WrestleMania and then he's going to finish his, the story at WrestleMania. Is that the way it's going to go?
Okay, so for me, I don't think Cody should leave Monday Night Raw because you don't have enough talent in Monday Night Raw right now for it to carry on as strong as SmackDown. SmackDown will always have Roman, so that's enough. But we don't know anything about Brock Lesnar. You have that Shinsuke and Seth going on right now, which is okay, I guess. But you saw the pop that they had with Jey Uso going over to Monday Night Raw. I think that's where it's gonna. I love the idea that they brought Jey Uso.
Funny though too is that, like, again, everybody was like, oh, he's you saw all the little all elite memes and all this stuff. And it's like, bro, he's still under contract. Like, it's not like his contract expired.
Yeah. It's not like Edge. It's not like Edge that his
because Edge is working angle to where it's like, and it's like I just laughed so many times. Everybody's like, "Oh no, it's gonna."
But do you see how WWE is so creative with what they do? Because look at the roster split. We were just talking about this. It makes sense. Hey, look, he left. He quit. Now he's going to Raw. Now, if you want to go to a Monday Night Raw show, you know you're gonna get Jey Uso, and they're popping, and you have so many fights you could create. Drew McIntyre, Riddle. You got so many, and it looks like Jey is getting pushed now to be the next level guy. Now, this is the reason why I don't think you put Cody into SmackDown. Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes in WrestleMania. That would sell, in my opinion. Now, there is no title. But again, I don't think Cody's going to get a title this year.
How do we know it won't be a title? Maybe Jey Uso goes heel and gets the world title from Seth. Or
it could be. I
mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
but look at that fight. That fight will sell.
It would be good. It would be good. I mean, depending on what the other matches are for the card. I mean, that's a good match, but you'd have to have a little bit more, I think, for a WrestleMania than just Cody and Jey, unless you build it up good now. Again,
you start building it
up, and then of course, I think both of them have the ability. And again, it's like I say with AEW, it's not the in-ring talent that everybody there can pretty much perform. Are there botches here and there? Yes, it's live performing. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Can you cover them up a little bit better? Sometimes, yes.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, so there. But again, I can see that. And the other thing I wanted to talk about too was the Judgment Day.
Okay.
The Judgment Day. There's a new briefcase in town.
Okay.
The purple one. It was gifted by J.D. McDonough.
Saw that. Okay.
Now, my question to you, because now all of a sudden, the wrestling, what's it called? The conspiracy theorists are out. Because the green one didn't get thrown away. The green one's still there. So now there's a purple one and a green one. Now the thought is, what if Damien goes to cash in the purple one, they open it up and there's no contract in it because the contract is in the green one and Finn Balor has the green one. So I don't know. Again, with this whole Judgment Day thing, it's like everything's out there. I get it. They just won the tag team titles. They've and by the way, Sammy and KO didn't lose the titles because they're injured. Okay, just want to throw it out there. They need to get them guys back in this because they're wasting them as the tag team champions. They waste them as the tag team champions. So I think again, this helps the Judgment Day because now they own all the titles, and I think it adds another layer to them because now they're tag team champions, and there's still a little bit of inner fighting.
Correct. And it goes to show you how creative WWE is with their storyline. It's so much more better when it comes to the competition.
But also, again, they have writers from TV. Yeah. And they have writers that are former pro wrestlers. They have a good mixture to where, yes, there's some things where you look at it and you're like, what the hell are they thinking? And then there's times where it's like, okay, now as you maybe see it, maybe when it first rolls out, it's like, because also, and again, I know I'm jumping all over the place, but things come to my head, and it's Elias resurfaced in an Instagram post. All right. And he was in the same river where he got baptized. Elias got baptized in the same lake where they baptized Jesus. So it made me think, like, do they bring him back as like this cult guy, Elias? Do they bring him back kind of with a new, like, he's not going to come back playing the guitar and all this. Do they bring him back into the fold as something new, maybe a new little gimmick? And then I started thinking even further down in NXT, you have Schism or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
With Ava and all those.
Yeah, the ones that wear the mask, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then you put them with him, and now you got him as a cult leader with followers.
I like it. I like that group. And I will tell you this. Remember, they're building NXT. Becky Lynch is supposed to come out to NXT. So I like that. I like the fact that this guy Brock.
Also, she can't travel right now, so she's kind of hosed. They ripped her passport.
No, but wait, hold up. But supposedly she was supposed to go to India, right? Because that's where they're having the next show.
I got the card from that too. The show's over. If you want to know the results, I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay. And I know that she went on social media and she posted something about a fan that said that she was so excited to go to India and that she was inspired her favorite wrestler and all stuff. And Becky Lynch was like devastated. She's like, "Damn, I can't make it." But I heard that it was because her passport was semi-ripped.
Got ripped. Yeah, the part of a page got ripped,
and that's why they didn't let her.
And it's apparently my understanding is it's a judgment call by the TSA. Oh, damn. Apparently somebody's a Trish Stratus fan and not a. I bet you they've turned this into an angle. I bet you they turned it into an angle.
Now, I know we didn't talk about Payback, and I want to talk about Payback.
Oh yeah, we go to it.
But before we go talk about Payback, what was the results of that card?
All right, so in India today, they did a Superstar Spectacle house show. All the way to India for a house show. Damn. So the opening match was Natalya versus defeated Zoe Stark. The winner versed Rhea Ripley later that night. Gunther defeated Shanky. Braun Breaker defeated Odyssey Jones. Rhea Ripley defeated Natalya. Seth freaking Rollins and John Cena defeated Imperium. And then Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens defeated Jinder Mahal and Indus Sher. And then the show ended with a dance-off between Riddle, McIntyre, Zayn, and Mahal. Great Khali also said he has one more match in him.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if he had any matches in him.
It wasn't the best.
And there were loud CM Punk chants during the show.
Yes!
So there we go. Maybe they start an India Wrestling Federation and CM Punk can go over there and
No. Hey, I'm telling you my theory. Put it on paper, guys. You guys are listening first. CM Punk will make his way over to WWE, and when he does that, you watch.
I think you're wrong.
CM Punk is gonna come to WWE.
I think CM Punk goes to Japan.
I know he wants to fight.
The Cauliflower Alley Club. He got a reward, and he said, he does want to end up over there. So I think maybe part of that was the deal with AEW probably worked out to where he could probably go over to New Japan. Now he can just go on his own.
But wait, there's no release clause or anything like that when it comes to this. So
apparently with AEW, there's
nothing.
They don't have any clauses with anybody.
Yeah, he could go wherever he wants.
Yeah.
I think
you can make your own money and you can set up your own thing. I mean, like, I just see him doing that more, and then maybe a one-off if somebody wants to work him in WWE. I just don't see him signing a full-time contract with WWE because I just think he doesn't. That's the problem, I believe. He doesn't want to be straddled down with the same. I think he gets bored or something. There's something in him that's just like doing the same stuff over and over. It just drives him crazy.
Do you think that's what happened in AEW, that he got bored? He got tired of all the drama that was going on. That's what happened.
Yeah, but he's also going the same stuff over and over and over and over. And it's just like when you can do your own stuff, he can go to Impact, show up for a show. The next night be at NWA. The next night be in Japan. Like, you can do whatever you want to do. It's not every Saturday I have to be here and look over the kids.
If I was WWE, I would sign him, and then I would make it WrestleMania Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. Man, that would sell. And then the date that would be day 2, and day 1 it would be Cody versus Jey Uso. That would be a really good WrestleMania.
Interesting. All right, Payback thoughts.
All right, so as you heard, I wasn't tuning into Payback at the beginning. I was watching Collision.
You missed a hell of a cage match.
No, I saw the replay. I saw the replay.
Trish tore it up.
And now I saw you took you mentioned about Trish Stratus. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. I think Trish Stratus still one of the best female wrestlers of all time, man. Jesus Christ. At her age, the girl can still sell the crap out of anything that they do on her. It was, for me, Payback was that fight. There was only like a handful of fights that I thought were interesting. And I had spoken to Memo about this because Memo asked me off the record, obviously. I said to Memo, I was like, look, the fights that I thought made sense that were really, really good was the Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus, which remember what I told you, I really enjoy them doing different fights outside of just a regular match. And I think they did that, and they actually did that on Monday night as well with Drew McIntyre and Riddle. And that was an entertaining fight on Monday Night Raw. That fight was really good. The street fight between the Judgment Day and our Zami and KO was really good. The John Cena special guest referee with LA Knight and Miz was really was the other one. I think those were the three that I really enjoyed. I thought the one of Cody versus the Cody Grayson Waller interview, that was kind of lackluster. I know they did the whole Jey
Yeah,
Uso
no, it was
thing,
just to get Jey Uso in there.
but I think they could have done that on a Monday on a SmackDown, and I wasn't sold on that Seth. Man, that fight wasn't that greatest. I was kind of bored in that fight, and not to mention, and I like her, but that Rhea Ripley fight is kind of boring as well, man.
Well,
And
the
that
problem was it was two big girls just going at it and laying as much on. It was just like one of those like you have two behemoths going. Meat, 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 meat. That's what I felt like in that match. And then the one thing I did not like the ending. It's like, okay, you pull in Dominique, you slam Dominique, you get kicked in the knee, which I get she's working the knee a little bit, and then you end up getting right into the slam and then 1, 2, 3. Like I thought it just missed something there on some of the things, but again, we'll see where they go with it if it goes more. I don't know what they do with Rhea right now because
she's too good.
Her role in the Judgment Day and everything else is just. I mean, what do you? I don't know. It's almost, And then I thought the Seth thing. I think the problem with that match was Seth was trying to sell that he was already so injured, that he really couldn't do much. And I think it slowed down a lot of that pace of that match because he was trying to make it seem like his back was so much of a hindrance that he couldn't do anything. And I think it was just a little bit of an overacting job as far as, and then it slowed just the pace of the match down, which.
And then not only that, but the ending was like, hey, from here on out, he just goes and he does his signature move out of the blue,
One stomp and that was it. That was the same thing with the Rhea finish. It's like, okay, you took all this punishment and then Shinsuke can only take a face plant and the match is over. I agree with you. I mean, it wasn't, again, I think they're trying to sell more the story, but I think it fell flat because, again, the whole Seth being, because Seth, if you're telling everybody, I know about your back and his back's so messed up, you can't come out there, balls to the wall and pick up 390 pounds and everything else. You still have to show the injury. And I think maybe it was a little bit too much on Seth's mind to where it slowed everything else down for the match. And it wasn't a normal Seth match.
And then didn't Austin Theory fight in that payback?
Rey Mysterio pinned him again.
That was horrendous. That was another fight.
That was kind of, I think they just threw that on there to have the LWO on a pay-per-view for a while because they hadn't been on the last two.
So again, you have 3 good, decent fights.
Yeah, no, that's what you're going to get with all these low. You're not getting the good cards until you get the main 4. The main 4, and then the other ones are, well, you pay $4.99 for Peacock or $9.99, or you watch it for free or whatever, and that's what you're going to get.
The LA Knight Miz fight was so good. That was
it was good, but again, I think Cena did a great job of trying not to overshadow anybody, and he did good. You know what I'm saying? Like they started calling Cena chants, and then it quieted down. I was worried that it was going to break out to more than what it did, and I think they handled it well.
I like the fact that they also played with it. Like, hey, both of them almost had that little push into John Cena, which kind of also created the opportunity for John Cena to maybe have beef with LA Knight or possibly have beef with The Miz again. So those little things, those little like.
And then also, I think at the end when he raised LA Knight's hand, that was him not passing the torch, but him putting his name on LA Knight being a good babyface. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
he's got the Cena babyface rub. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of the thing was made about him was that his tone is like The Rock and everything else. And I think they're trying to get that going. And I think this is a good step toward that. And I think they use Cena right, man, because you bring him in as a host. He gets to do the guest spot, and then he does the interview in the back. You know, just the little stupid stuff that he does that he can bring in. You don't have to have him wrestle on a pay-per-view that, again, you have the 4 main ones, and then I think, yeah, you might get 2 or 3 good matches, but they're not going to throw every, you might luck out every once in a while and get, some of the matches you don't expect to hit like EO against Asuka that one time. We were like,
yeah,
I'm not expecting much. And it was like, whoa, that just boosted this pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So those incidents are going to happen, but I like the way they use Cena, and I love the way Miz came out on Monday night and watch it. And I actually watched
Really
McAfee clip. Did you see McAfee?
No.
He did a whole segment, him and AJ Hawk on Tuesday night or no, Tuesday, whenever they come on at noon or whatever. The whole segment was about Miz, doing the whole wrestling the mystery guy and the cameraman, how great he did following Cena there, doing all of Cena's stuff that he does, and everything else. And then they called Miz, and he was at the airport, and they talked to him a little bit about, all the whole thing. And I thought it was pretty cool, man.
You gotta give Miz a lot of props. He's very good at. He's an entertainer. He is just like he's like MJF. He's not MJF. I think passed him already. But
MJF's got better athleticism. The Miz was that guy that he's got some athleticism to where he's not going to hurt himself. But like, dude, MJF hasn't even scratched the surface on what he did in the independents. I've watched him do moonsaults. I've watched him do the dives. That dive that he's so scared to do, he used to do every night in the independents, or at least every independent show that he was on. There's so much MJF that hasn't been touched because he hasn't needed to. He hasn't needed that. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I'm so impressed.
Smart. He's not destroying himself when he doesn't need to. There's going to come a time where he's going to have to, but now is not that time.
I want him to, when he goes against Samoa Joe, to do the kangaroo kick on Samoa Joe. Amazing. I'm sold on that kangaroo kick.
I think what's going to happen, he's going to go do the kangaroo kick, and so that's when the Samoa Joe's going to walk away.
That'll be so cool. Like
from the apron, he's going to do the kangaroo kick outside, and then Samoa Joe's going to walk away, crash and burn.
That was so good. Now, I will say this about John Cena. If you guys don't know, we don't talk that much about John Cena because obviously John Cena hasn't been around when we started the show or when I joined the show. I'm not a John Cena fan. I'm telling you right now. I don't like John Cena. I respect John Cena, but I don't like him. I think some of the stuff that John Cena sometimes does is pretty ridiculous. Like, I know that, I think it was on SmackDown when he came, he was blowing kisses to the fans. I thought that was stupid. I think that was unnecessary. I don't know if he did that. I don't know if he did that on the Payback or if he did that on SmackDown when he showed up. But I do respect him, and that's why I said like the fight with the Miz and
they're probably flicking him off, and he was doing them. I love you too.
Well, if they were flicking him off, okay.
I'll never forget the best time John Cena did when he was like, "I know what you're waiting for," a little heel turn, and he put the heel of his foot on the ground and turned it, and he's like, "It's not coming." I was like, yes.
I mean, like I said, I think John Cena. He's good. He knows what he does.
Business, man.
Yeah, he's good. I don't like him, but he's good. He's good. I respect him.
Hogan. He's Hogan. He's got 6 moves of doom, and that's his bread and butter, and he knows how to perform. I mean, that's the thing. People are invested in him, whether it's kids.
Well, did you see how many ticket sales went up?
The young kids grow up and become the adults that they want their kids to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing that we're like, everybody's like, oh, WWE this and that. And I just, you got to remember, the kids that were watching Cena are now your 20-somethings.
Yeah, you know who? I'll give you an example. Memo. So Memo is a diehard John Cena fan, and Memo's like in his mid-20s,
Mhm.
and he is a diehard John Cena fan, and he gets mad at me because I always tell him, I'm like, look, man, Cena sucks, but the guy, I respect the guy. I don't like him, but I respect the guy. He knows his stuff. He's entertaining, but they all still love him. And crazy enough, you got the little kids now because all, like you said, they're all 20-year-olds. So if you bring him on board, bro, the kids are gonna fall for him again. Because I like the John Cena when he used to rap and he used to do all that stuff. That's the Cena I liked. I like that Cena.
Doctor Thugonomics.
Yeah, I like that Cena. I like the hustle, respect, whatever that crap he does. I think that's dumb. But like I said,
It's hustle, loyalty, respect.
look at that. See, that goes to show you how much I care about him. I really don't. I'm not a big fan. I hope he's up for 7 shows. I think it's 7 shows that he's doing, right? Is that what
He's like on like 8 straight weeks of Raw. Except he's not on tonight because he was in India.
Now, let me ask you, why did they bring him? Is it because they felt the ratings, they needed more ratings, or
no? He has nothing to do. There's the strike. He has nothing to do.
Well, he's also a bad actor, so that probably doesn't help him
look at
either.
it. He's not in as much. He doesn't have as many business ventures as The Rock and everything else. So he had some time. He was like, "Hey, do you need anything? Okay, I'll be there."
Good for him. Good for him to come back to WWE.
And he likes to give back, man. And I'm not saying The Rock doesn't, but The Rock has a lot more business ventures, a lot more movie ventures than just, being involved. And he's got the XFL. He's got all this other stuff with the $7 production. So, it's just the way it rolls out, man.
Last thing, Payback. 1 to 10. What do you give it? 10 being the best, 1 being the worst.
6.5, maybe 7.
I give it a 5. I thought it was one of their more lackluster.
I'll never give a pay-per-view a 5 unless it was just straight shit, because that's failure. That's failing. I mean, that pay-per-view didn't fail. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible.
It failed when it came to their biggest talents, Rhea Ripley and Seth. They dropped the ball with those two. They didn't do a good job, man, with those two.
They dropped the ball. It didn't execute. I mean, that's not on. I mean, the story's written. They didn't execute in the ring. It didn't work out. However you want to look at it, something happened. I don't know, but those things happen, man. But I would never give a pay-per-view a 5. Like 6.5, 7 is probably the lowest I'd ever go.
All right, well,
unless it was just straight, like the first match, the ring broke, and then all of a sudden they couldn't do 3 matches, and then 3 guys got dropped on their heads, and it was dangerous. Like, that's the only way I'll be like, dude.
I mean, I give it a 5. I'll go as high as a 6, but not more than that. And again, I thought it did not deliver. The reason I give it so low is because obviously the main fights I wanted to see.
Also, I think you're getting. How can I put this without sounding? I think a lot of the problem is that you watch AEW pay-per-views and they're knocking them out of the park, but they're doing 5 or 6, whereas WWE is doing 12.
But that's not true. Not true, and I'll tell you why. Because I thought Backlash was one of their best pay-per-views of this year.
But also that had to do with the crowd.
True.
The crowd made that pay-per-view with Bad Bunny and made that
but
there was no moment at Payback. That's the thing
that's what
matches weren't terrible. The Rhea Ripley Raquel wasn't terrible.
It was bad.
It was just rough because they're
rough. It was bad. It was a bad fight.
Crap out of each other. They're trying to lay everything in to make it like Gargantuan against Gargantuan. That's the problem.
When you have only 3 good fights in a card, in a pay-per-view, in a main event, a live event, it's pretty bad, man.
They only did 6 matches that pay-per-view.
That means that basically half of the card sucked. And then you have to bring in the Wason Growler, the Growler effect, whatever his name is, to try to do that. Like, that was kind of like, that's a SmackDown move, man. Like that felt more like a SmackDown type of
No, they were just wasting time. We gave him a time to get a.
I was disappointed
and get Cody on there without having to have Cody fight. I mean,
no. I'm saying the whole
really
card.
What they did. It was just giving Cody the crowd to see Cody. That was all that was for.
Hey, you could have done that on SmackDown.
No, you couldn't have because SmackDown wasn't on Saturday night.
No. I get you, but I'm saying they could have had like on a random Friday SmackDown. They could have gone ahead and had Cody on there.
No, but see, this is where you're not getting why Cody was there.
They just wanted to give Cody to the fans. I get it.
Because his merchandise. It's about selling the merchandise. It's not anything else. Like, dude, I mean,
it's not only about selling the merchandise.
Just walk out for the Grayson Waller effect.
It's not only about selling the merchandise, because then why they let go of CM Punk? I mean, come on. But
WWE's just that was done. I mean, what are you talking about?
You can't. I know, Karen.
Are you talking about AEW now? What are we doing here?
No, I'm saying it's just you. It's not only about the merchandise. It just has to make some. It has to make sense. But I get it. It's they wanted to show Cody to the fans and all that.
And then also, I look. I know what you're saying about Cody not going to SmackDown, but I almost feel like that was the string he pulled. I'll go to SmackDown. You bring Jey Uso here, and then he said, "I hope we made the right decision."
But that also could be
another thing. And I didn't watch every bit of Raw, every single second of Raw. Was Cody ever back on after?
I don't think so.
On Raw at all?
I don't think I saw Cody this Raw on Monday.
Yeah, I don't think I saw him at all either. That's all when I went through. So
because I saw most of it.
Up here in a minute. Performer of the week.
The performer of the week. The performer of the week I got is Tony Khan. He went out there. He cried his heart out in front of the fans.
Oh, Karen's in AEW.
Cried. He brought out the chair, serenaded pretty much to the whole fans how much he cares about wrestling.
Put my life at risk.
And then talking about his life and man, what a bunch of crap. I was so like I lost a lot of respect for that guy. It's like Roman Reigns. And you guys know me. I am not a big Roman Reigns fan. I'm telling you right now. My favorite wrestlers in WWE, I'm telling you, is Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, those people. Roman Reigns, a guy who never defends his championship belt, barely anything. That's why Tool Time doesn't like me, because I'm not a Roman Reigns fan. Tony Khan, you're starting to be in that same, little group of people that I don't respect when it comes to it, because that was just
your performer of the week.
I understand his performance was like masterful. He was going ahead and selling himself that his life was on the line, and he wasn't gonna live anymore, and AEW was gonna crash, and that's why he had to let go of CM Punk. So my performer is that little PUSSY TK. PUSSY. That's all I gotta say. Sorry, I don't want to say it out loud. I'm keeping it PG.
Called him a pussy tick.
That guy, man. There was a video of a girl, and she. I don't know if you saw that. She put it on Twitter, and he was recording it, and she was like sitting right behind the announcers, so she was zooming in on the TV that the announcers have. And when he was saying it, she was yelling it the whole time. She was like, "Hey, Tony Khan, this and that." And it was so fun. It was so good.
All right, my performer of the week goes to Ricky Starks. I think he absolutely killed it on the Saturday Collision, and then, of course, on the
strap match.
The strap match, and I think they're doing good with him. But yeah, he's I'm sorry, Noel Dow came in and said, "What are you going to explain Gunther?" Gunther's just the beast, making the Intercontinental title mean something. Him and Gable, I thought, had a great match.
He should have lost.
And the ending was fantastic. You got everybody built up. And then, again, it's about investing. You get people emotionally invested in a match. Like, it's magical, man, sometimes.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that they gave it to Gunther. Honky Tonk should have been still number one of all time.
Honky Tonk Man.
Honky Tonk Man, baby. We gotta love honky tonk, man.
All right, last thoughts. We got to get going. SmackDown's about to kick off.
Guys, thank you so much for watching us. I see we got 15 likes, I think. So if you guys have been going in and out, forgot to hit the like, make sure you hit that like. Remember to follow me at Fresco Music, FREZKO. I am on Twitch again.
Yeah, buddy. Saw that.
I will be I'm DJing again on Twitch, so I'm gonna try to do this more periodically. So also tune same thing, Fresco Music on Twitch. And I'm also I don't know if you guys see me throughout the night. I was moving it because I will be going live on Instagram. So what I'm doing is I'm streaming the show through Instagram at least for the first hour or so. So we want to try to get more and more people to watch the show. We want to grow our show. This show can only get better and better and bigger if you guys help us as much as we can. I know we're trying to do our best. If you guys have any recommendations, any advice, anything to help the show and make the show better, that way we could expand and have more people watch. We love you guys on the comments. We want to see you guys more often. Maybe we could put like a particular TNA like questions or something like for the comments. I don't know, anything like that. Any advice, guys, let us know. Let us know. You could either let myself know or Sean know through like social media, or just shoot us a quick message. And that's pretty much it. Oh, one last thing. Shout out to the fish tank. They were amazing. I was able to go to the fish tank on Wednesday. I saw it live, and OJ McDuffie and Channing Crowder signed my hat. So check this out.
Look at that. You got the inside the NFL guy. That's good stuff right there, man.
So thank you, guys. Yeah, those guys were, dude.
Oh, they're awesome, man. They're awesome.
I invited Sean too. Sean couldn't make it. Damn,
Yeah,
Sean, you should have came, man. It was really good.
I wish I could have, man. I appreciate that. And as Frankie said, any social media platform at Sean_Stanley11, you can hit me up there as always. No doubt, Karen Joseph, Chad. Appreciate you, official DJ Mimo. Appreciate you as always, my man. No doubt. To a time in the house was in the house there. GW, appreciate you. Cap for Life was back. Although by the end he wasn't using it in all caps anymore. I don't know what's going on there.
Oh, wow.
He simmered down a little bit. My dad was in. We had No P for Me, R. Kelly.
I don't know what that was.
On there, and then See Him Dump. Apparently, there's a lot of CM Dump. Oh, I like that one. CM Dump.
Can we block that person? Can we pull a big O and block that person?
I like it. Let's see. I mean, Zaria was in the house. My dad.
Who the hell came up with CM Dump? Get out of here.
I love that. That's now from now on. That is him now. CM Dump. God, that is beautiful.
Wow. I did not catch that.
I did not either. Till just now going back through. So let me tell you something. That guy, genius, buddy.
CM Dump.
I love CM Dump. All right. Well, we're going to have to dump on out of here, just like CM Dump. SmackDown will be kicking off. We got, of course, college football, NFL, football, Miami Marlins. You got so much going on, South Florida sports fans. I appreciate you taking some time out joining me and Frankie here in the Squared Circle Digest. And in the words of the great Gordon Soley, so long from the Sunshine State.